So it has been a minute since we did an ammo roundup for pricing, and we're into new year. So I figure we should round up last year's ammo pricing and talk about where we're at now. Because if you've listened to any of my videos discussing the upcoming year, you know where I stand, what I think is going to happen roughly, and what you should be doing about it. So let's get into it. Now, overall, honestly, not a horrible year. If we're looking at ammo, a year ago, we were in roughly the same place. For the most part, if anything, it's better. Availability is good, pricing is good. We are looking at 9mm steel and 9mm brass in December last year, 22, not 23. You're talking 22, 25 cents, somewhere in there. Well, this year, we're at 22 cents roughly, and we have been for a couple months. Now that said, if you are willing to take oddball names from oddball vendors, just meaning non-traditional, well-known, long-established folks, not saying there's anything wrong with them, there are some good deals to be had. A lot of people looked at the market and looked at what they think is going to come down the road and said, hey, it's time to get in the game and start building a customer base, start figuring this out, get our production going, and be ready. Hopefully, some of these were smart enough to go, hey, let's make sure we're stocked up on materials. Let's make sure we've got some backlog of inventory so when this gets crazy, we can still keep selling, right? Hopefully that is what we're seeing happen. I don't know. I'm not an insider for this stuff. All I can look at it is from the outside in. And there's no window. You know, I'm not looking through the window at the ammo factory going, ooh, they got a couple pallets of that over there and a couple pallets of that. So I don't know. I'm guessing, speculating, but it's an educated guess. Now, let's talk about actual pricing. Where do we stand today relative to, and I last did this in November. So that's my comparison point for right now. But really, we're only worried about what is it today. So we've got a baseline going through this year. What were we in January and what has happened since? So, I'm looking at my spreadsheet here. 22 long rifle, 5 cents, flat, no change really. 9mm steel, 21.5 cents. Technically, we're doing pretty good. That's actually down. 9mm brass, 22 cents again. Technically, we're up from November, but we're down from October. We had a little spike in October, if you remember. Still, 22 cents, not horrible. It'd be nice to see it lower, but that's about as low as we've realistically had it in a while. 40 Smith & Wesson, 30 cents. Up a little, down a little, that's pretty par for the course. 30 cents is not out of whack by recent pricing. 45 ACP, 35 and a half, 35.7. There was a lot of it available where I was like, I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about them. And it was a little cheaper, but shipping was usually very high. And I was like, I don't know. I went with the ones we're comparing to from before, but that doesn't necessarily mean you couldn't get the ammo cheaper. It was up slightly, but a lot of that was just what I could find from ammunition vendors and companies, brands I'm familiar with. If you are willing to go a little out on a limb, there seem to be a lot available. Watch your shipping costs though, because shipping adds into your cost per round. 357 Magnum, 45 cents, actually down a little from where we've been, actually cheap compared to the overall last year or so. 223 steel cased, 46 cents, that is down significantly, but actually up from historical numbers. That's about as high as we've seen other than November and late October. 47 cents for regular brass case, 5.56, 223. This is all new production, by the way. 47 cents, that is high. That is actually pretty darn high. We never made it back down to October pricing after the jump in October. It was 37.9 in October in the beginning, went up to 49, maybe a little higher at some point. We only came back down to 46 and we're at 47. Again, watch your pricing on shipping. I ignored everybody who had jacked up shipping, kept it to places that either had free shipping if you were buying a reasonably sized order or had reasonable price shipping. 308, 77 cents. That is actually down, not drastically. It is a little high. Not a little high, it's pretty high compared to the ongoing pricing, but it is down from the last month or so. 308 Match, flat. That fluctuates around in the $1 to $1.15 range. $1.15 is what we're at. 6.5 Creedmoor, 83 cents. That is actually pretty darn good. We have not seen it that low in a while. There was a number of options. I went with, it was Cellular and Beloy from a company that was offering reasonable shipping. No issues. Plenty of choices. 6.5 Grendel Brass. Another one where shipping got weird. 95 cents. But if you were willing to buy a bunch of it, you could have gotten it for less per round, but you were going to be paying more in shipping. So if you were buying a bunch, there were better choices for pricing. It was much cheaper per round. I mean, as low as like 77, 75 cents a round. But if you're not buying 1,000 rounds, that doesn't counteract the like $40 shipping, right? Then there's 300 Blackout, 65 cents. It's like the highest it's been in a while. I don't know what the scoop is. If you bought stupid bullets, meaning you had 147 or 150 grain, there were a lot more options again, call it 50 cents a round, which would be more in line, if not a good price, right? For whatever reason, all the guys selling it with proper bullets for the caliber, yeah, they wanted a premium price, or they had really crappy shipping, not just a little crappy, really crappy. On AmmoSeek, they grade the shipping. They were like ones and twos, right? It was very high shipping. That is the roundup for pricing, and that's what we're going to be looking at going forward for this year. We have seen some great things coming out of the Supreme Court lately. We have seen a lot of commentary. They have weighed in on things without necessarily a court case being decided. I think we're going to see a lot of things happen this year, but we've also got the election. I think that ammo pricing is about as good as we're going to see it. I think pricing a lot of stuff is about as good as we're going to see it. I reiterate, if you can buy now, start with your oddball calibers, work your way toward your normal stuff. Start with oddball ammo types and work your way toward the normal stuff. Premium self-defense ammo before FMJs, okay? Hunting ammo before practice ammo, right? Because that's going to be harder to get. You're going to have fewer options later on. Buy that now. Worry about the easy to get stuff later. You may pay more for it, but you can get it. That said, if you have classes scheduled for this year or planned for this year, even if it's not scheduled yet, buy the ammo for that now. If you're taking a pistol course and you know you're going to need 1,000 rounds of 9mm or 45, I would go buy that ammo now. Rifle ammo, same thing. Components, if you're a reloader and you're not stocked up already, there's plenty of primers out there. There's plenty of powder out there right now. I expect that to start drying up in the next 6 months. So just saying, it's not time to panic buy, but it's time to actually start making sure you have a plan and start executing that plan. So anyway, take care, have fun, stay safe, keep shooting, and I apologize for the long delay between videos. I have been busy with other things in my life, and to be honest, not much motivation. YouTube freaking slashed my last 2 videos. They did not do any real views. And it was hard to get the motivation to interrupt the rest of my life to do a video when I expect YouTube to do the same again. So anyway, bye guys.